I'm going to be sharing 42 new releases by Black authors that came out this year that I own, and I'm sure there are tons and tons more. I have read 15 of them, and then 27 of them I have not read, so we're going to go through the ones that I have read first. But before we do that, make sure you guys subscribe because there's new videos every single day for the entire month of December, and you get lots of fun like little book hauls like this and book chats like this, and I hope that this gives you guys a lot of recommendations for books by Black authors because all of these came out this year. I kid you not, every single one. So yeah, I'm not gonna give like a long synopsis of each one because there are so many, but I'm gonna give you guys like my tried and true thoughts. So let's get into this. There are so many, so we're just gonna start at the top with 1 Week in Paradise. This was a really fun, easy read. I read this so quick, and I think I rated this one 4 stars. And this is by Anise Starr, and I'll link all of the books below for you guys. I also read There Goes the Neighborhood by Jade Adia, and I really enjoyed this one as well. This one gave like Scooby-Doo vibes, and I thought it was just like fun. It is a YA, and obviously all of these came out this year. The next book that I read that I really loved and rated 4 stars was Reggie and Delilah's Year Falling. I talk about this so much. This was a very fluffy, fun read. Both characters were really quirky, which I liked. Like one of them was really into like video games, and the other one just like, I don't know, it was just nice to see characters who like different things. Like I think one of them like cosplaying. It was just really cute. Or no, I'm mixing that up with another book, but they were very quirky characters and it was really cute. Then I read Black Girls Must Have It All by Jane Allen, and this is actually the 3rd book in the series. This series was okay. I think I rated this 3.5 stars, and I rated the whole series overall 3 stars. Then I also read Take a Chance by Mieko May. I think that everyone should read this book. It's so fast. It's just a little novella or a novelette because it's literally so short. It's only 61 pages and I enjoyed every minute of it. I rated it 4 stars. Also love The Neighbor Favorite by Christina Forrest. This was her first adult book. I've read a lot of her YA novels, and I am not sure if I like the YA novel or the adult novel better, but her writing is just fun. And this was a very bookish book about a publisher and a writer, and it just was like, I don't know, a unique concept. You have to look into it. I'm not gonna like talk about every single one because I've already been talking for quite some time. We have so many books to go through. This book, rated this like 4.5 stars. Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington is so similar to Squid Games, and if you've been watching like the Squid Games challenge, which I haven't, but if you've been watching it, I feel like you would really like this. It's super similar to Squid Games because she's like fighting through all of these games to try to like win pretty much a position of power, and I love this. I loved it so much. Really the only thing that kept me from rating it 5 stars was because my stipulation for 5 stars, I have to want to read it again. I feel like I got everything out of this book that I needed to get. I also read The Better Half by Ali Frank and Asha Humans. One of these authors is Black, the other is not, so I wanted to make sure I included this though. I think I rated this 3 stars or 3.5. I think that this is a good book if you're wanting more books with main characters who are like towards their like 40s, because she is trying to like reinvent herself, and she already has an older daughter who's in college, and she's trying to kind of figure things out. But it was a really good book because I feel like I don't read books like that very often where the characters are like in that age range. It also has a ton of like workplace drama, which I enjoyed because I feel like it's very rare that I get to read about workplace drama, because most books have characters who are like younger and not necessarily as established. She's like a principal. Read Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. Rated this 4 stars. I love this, and I tell so many people to read this book just because it's messy and it's fun, and like she's helping her sister with a wedding to her ex-boyfriend. Her sister is honestly just like terrible like throughout the whole book, and so she's trying to like figure out how she feels about her sister and like this whole thing, but of course she wants to support her sister, but then she ends up kind of like starting to have feelings for this guy, but she's like, I don't know if I want to tell anyone I have feelings for this guy because he's friends with my ex who is like going to marry my sister. So it just is it's a whole mess, and it's all set in Tulum, I think, or somewhere tropical for the wedding. Then I read Zora Books Are Happily Ever After by Taj McCoy. I think I rated this one 3.5 stars. This one was nice because she's actually choosing between two men, and you really don't know who she's gonna choose. Like throughout the whole book, I feel like both guys have like great characteristics, and one of them is more like artsy-ish, and then the other one is more like polished, and he's very like established. And it was really nice to see a woman just date both men, and like it was just like a very adult book, because I feel like sometimes we read books and we're like, oh, like she needs to like pick one, and you can see there's obviously like a big contender, like one is like way better than the other, and you're just like, don't have her pick the other one. But I think both of these guys were like a really good contender, and then the ending, there's kind of like a blow up. It was really good. I think the only thing that kept me from rating it like a 4 or 4.5 was really because I wanted a little bit more dialogue, but the storyline was like, I don't want to say I've never read anything like that before, but it was an interesting storyline. Then I read Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. This is a thriller. This gives Get Out vibes. It's very much like, you know how, I can't even explain it. Like, it is something that I feel like is so scary to Black people. And I think if you are Black, or you can like kind of connect with the Black experience in a way, or like you want to learn more about the Black experience, I think this is a really good book to read, because the themes that the main character goes through and that the author highlights are things that like we are so like fearful of. So it's kind of one of those books where you're like, who is she supposed to turn to? And it was good. And then Rhythm and Muse by India Hill Brown. This is a fluffy read. This is actually set in a, well, not in a church, but like a lot of the book has like the main character going to church, and he's like interested in this girl who is also at his church, but she also has this podcast that she's like wanting to get a new song for, and she asks everyone to like submit their songs, and so he submits an intro song but doesn't say his name, and so she's like kind of looking like who made this song? I love this song so much, but he's like kind of nervous to share that it was him. I really love this. Rated this 4 stars. It's very fluffy. There's no spice. Very, very cute story. Then I read Rootless by Crystal Zarapia. I think I rated this one 3 stars, and I feel like this is such a good book for women who are not wanting to have children, and that is something that I feel like I've been very vocal about. Like, I don't want to have children, but I'm also open to the idea of like me changing my mind one day. I mean, 10 years ago, I was throwing back shots and walking out in the cold in like stiletto heels in college, and now you could not catch me dead out there in the streets when it's like that cold at night, unless it's like maybe New Year's Eve or something like that, because, and even then I really want to be cuddled up at home reading a book at 8 o'clock at night. So I think that this is such a good book for people who are really thinking about the idea or concept of like not having kids, because she doesn't want to have kids, but then she does end up like having to have hard conversations with her husband because he wants to have kids. So it is very good, and also talks a lot about the like pressure that is put on women just to have kids, but also to uphold like a whole household and everything. I think that the only thing that kept me from rating this a little bit higher was just because it felt like it needed to be like a book club book, because there were so many like heavy topics, but I think I would have wanted a little bit more dialogue, so it felt more like a story and less like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I just wanted a little bit more dialogue. Then I read Everyone's Thinking It. Love this book. It's very good. I think that this one is good for people who like, not necessarily Gossip Girl, but who maybe read the book Ace of Spades and really like that book. I feel like this one kind of gives a similar vibe. And then The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. Y'all know that this book just set me on fire this month. Love it. It's so freaking good. I feel like if you liked the book 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, you'll like this book, because they're not similar in a sense of plot line, but they're similar in kind of writing style. I don't even know how to explain it. There isn't as much dialogue as I would have wanted, but the characters feel very real, and it reminds me of Scandal. Like, if you have watched Scandal, I feel like you will really like this, because it's a whole mess. There's a lot of mess in it, but it's very adult mess. Now let's get into the books that I haven't read, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I literally have 27 books to go through. One Summer in Savannah by Tara Shelton Harris came out this summer, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. It was actually on my TBR last month, and I didn't get to it, so I'm hoping to get to it soon. It just looks like a really heartfelt, very deep story. And then another book, Play to Win by Jodie Slaughter. This one looks fun. Like, it just looks like a fluffy, fun book, and I've never read anything from Jodie Slaughter, but on the back there's actually a blurb that says, Jodie Slaughter is my must-buy author from Talia Hibbert. And I love Talia Hibbert, so love that. The Wrong Kind of Weird. This is by James Ramos, and it's about a guy who, I think he wants to be with the popular girl, but she's not into him, so I think he's gonna try to like get her to be into him, but I'm pretty sure like the quirky girl's into him, but like maybe he's not wanting to be with her. I just know that this is supposed to be kind of like a fluffy book, and I think it's set in high school. Elise Bryant has a little blurb on the front. It says, sweet, snarky, and delightfully dorky, and she wrote Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling, which I talked about in my like little other stack that I've read. So really excited to read this one. I feel like it'll be good. Mickey Chambers, Shakes It Up by Charisse Reed. Looks really good. I have not read it. It says total opposites, totally irresistible. And I want to say, does she work for him? I'm not really sure. I think she works at his bar or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Literally just look at the description. I will link all these below. My Week with Him by Joya Goffney is a book where they're going to be traveling most of the book, and I like those. I feel like those are fun for summer, which is probably why I should have read it in the summer, because that's literally when it came out. It also came with a little bookmark, so I need to read this one. And I also read, oh, it also came with this cute little picture. I love that. I also read Excuse Me Why I Ugly Cry by this author, and there wasn't like really any spice in there. I think they just like kiss, so a lot of these books actually don't have spice that I've shared so far. You just have to really look into them, but yeah, like I don't think this has spice in it. I'm not really sure about the others. And then Life is Beautiful by Asia Monique. I actually read one book by this author and enjoyed it, so I was like, you know what, let me pick up an actual book because I read a novella, and the only qualm I had for the novella was I wanted it to be longer. And so I feel like if I'm gonna get another book from this author, I need to get something like thicker so that I could really like enjoy her writing, because I enjoyed it in the shorter book, but I just wanted a little bit more. Also picked up 16 and Pregnant by Layla Thomas. That title pretty much tells you all about it. Thank You for Sharing by Rachel Runya Katz. It says she hated him since they were kids. He missed her just as long. I mean, what more do you need? And then I also picked up this book, the first and second book, and I rarely do that, but the covers really pulled me in. This says, what comes first in this business? Dirty, freedom, or love? And then the second book in this is called, and it looks totally different, but it's the Seaside Mergers books, and this is book 1 and this is book 2, and this one is Rules of Association, and the author is wow, I literally did this last time. I'm not trying to do this again. Adorable Huckabee Ordaz. I think that's how you say it. I'm doing my best. And then on the back of this one it says, what are rules made for security, for comfort, or to be broken? One summer, two best friends, blurred lines. And these just both look really good, so that's why I picked up both of them. And then I also picked up Ride or Die. It says, it's all fun and games until you meet your match. And I'm pretty sure that this is like a thriller, I think. And then I also, and that's by Gail Agnes Muscavanu. And then I picked up Take a Hike by Mimi Grace. This is a book that I think is set in a small town. I'm pretty sure all of her books are set in a small town, and I love finding books by Black authors that are set in small towns. I just think that they're so cozy. And this says, falling in love is an uphill battle, and I'm pretty sure this is set in the same like area as her other 3 books, but you can read this as a standalone. She has 2 other books, maybe 3 outside of this one. Pretty sure they're all set in the same town. And then I picked up Real Love by Rachel Lindsay. This says reality TV love may look tempting, but real love could change everything. And it's about a girl who goes onto a reality TV show, and pretty much it's not all that it seems. Then I picked up Dances, which is literally about a dancer by Nicole Cuffey, and it says a provocative and lyrical debut from a sensuous new voice in fiction follows the rise of a trailblazing black ballerina who must reconcile the ever-rising stakes of her grueling career with difficult questions of love, loss, and her journey to self-liberation. That sounds beautiful. Literally sounds absolutely beautiful. And again, all these books came out this year. I'm gonna try to speed it up because I've been taking my sweet time. Picked up Nextdoor Nemesis by Alexa Martin. It says, live, love, and get off my lawn. It says, two rival candidates for a homeowners association presidency are about to find out how dirty suburbanites fight in this steamy new romantic comedy. Picked up Cant Let Her Go by Kiana Alexander, which is a queer read, and it says two friends who are so close to falling in love it hurts. And then the situationship I picked up, it says More Than Friends, Less Than Official by Taylor Dior Rumble. When the love of your life shows up with a girlfriend, Tia decides it's time to put herself out there. So that is that big stack. There's a whole stack down here. I'm gonna try to move these over without like making anything fall over. I swear I do this every time. But there's just so many good books. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this little like video. I feel like it's a really unique concept, but I wanted to make this video because I saw the Goodreads Choice Awards and I was really surprised by how like little diversity that there was with the Choice Awards and like who was nominated and who like, I don't know, had the option to even win. And it really made me think like about how there are so many books that have come out this year by Black authors. Like literally this is another stack. And there's so many good ones, and obviously I shared the 15 I've read and then the 27 that are on my TBR. So hopefully this will give you guys more ideas of like what to read and books that came out this year, not like 10 years ago, not the same ones that people regurgitate over and over and over again, because I feel like that can sometimes be obnoxious when you've already read them, and hopefully this gives you guys a lot of good ideas of things to read. Chasing River by MC Sakala. This is set, I think, in a school, and it says Lips of Honey and Eyes of Fire. Armani Nandi was always the good girl. And then Last Chance Dance by Lakita Wilson. This looks like a fun storyline. It's about a girl, and I think like the town maybe has this thing called Last Chance Dance where the girls choose who they want to go with. I'm pretty sure. It says one big breakup, one last dance, 4 chances to fall in love. And I'm pretty sure the girls choose who they want to go with, but they go on dates with the guys before they choose like who they want to go to the dance with. And so you get to see her like go on multiple dates and then like decide who she wants. Also picked up Holding by Alexandria House, and this is the second book in the series. I think Goal is the first one. I'm not sure if you can read them, I'm not sure if this is a interconnected standalone that you can read like by itself. So this one is Childhood Neighbors, Enemies, Best Friends, Lovers, Enemies. It says all of that literally on the top, and it says Cyrus Lyman, Terrence Ford, and his ex-wife Crystal have meant all of these things to each other. Once believing their union was indestructible, they find themselves unhappily apart. Maybe what they see as an ending is really the beginning of a stronger bond and a deeper understanding of what love really is. Holding is a novel that offers intimacy, healing, and forever. And this is a pretty short one too, and it's also hockey romance. I'm pretty sure it's only 201 pages. Picked up The Problem with Dating by Brittany Cherry. It just came out, and it says if I had to choose a person to hate, Alex Ramirez would have been first on the list. And it says some stories work best unleashed. And then Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert is a book I have not read yet, but I read Mary Mary Infamous by this author and fell in love with it. So now I want to read this book so bad. And it says, could you brave the wilderness with your highly suspicious and unfairly cute ex-best friend? That sounds like a recipe for disaster, which is, I like eat that up. I literally eat it up. And I also picked up Sight Unseen by Kasha Thompson. It says, why not take a chance at love? I think they go on to a reality TV show and they end up getting married like sight unseen. And then they have to like figure out how to navigate life together. I think one of them goes on actually for love and the other one goes on to like for popularity, but the other person doesn't know. And then maybe one of them starts falling, like the one who went on just for like popularity, maybe he starts falling or she starts falling for the other person. I'm not quite sure, but on the back it says, a chance at love is better odds than nothing, even if that means falling in love while the whole world is watching. This looks good and the cover is really cute. Also picked up Where There Is Smoke, There Is Fire by Monique Fisher. I have read through most of these in lots of different like hauls and stuff, but this one I'm pretty sure just came out and it looks so good. I'm not going to read through the back, and there isn't like a little blurb, but it does say it's a contemporary take on the epic love story. Aaron and Kara's journey is what happens after the happily ever after. And The Homecoming War, this is a fun little fluffy read. This I think is a YA book, and it just looked really good. I'm pretty sure both of them are trying to become like homecoming something or other, like king, queen, president something, and they're both like at odds against each other, and so they start like doing these little pranks against each other. It's called The Homecoming War by Addie Wooldridge. It looks really cute. You guys know I love fluffy books like that. Then I also picked up You Bet Your Heart by Danielle Parker. This is a debut book, and I have not read this, but it looks really good. It says it's a riveting, swoon-worthy romance about excellence, exceptionalism, and the lengths people will go for love and success. Interesting, cute. I love the cover of that one. And then this one is When the Vibe is Right by Sarah Doss, and it says there are two things Tess Crawford knows for sure. She's destined to be a great carnival costume designer like her renowned uncle, and her classmate Brandon Richards, a popular social media influencer, is the bane of her existence. It says, when the future of grandeur nears the brink of its collapse in the face of band rivalry, Tess finds to her chagrin, I don't know that word. Please don't let me know what that means. Chagrin, that she must team up with Brandon in a desperate attempt to revive the company. As Tess and Brandon spend more time together, Tess begins to wonder if everything she thought she knew might not be so certain after all. Set in a lush, gorgeous Trinidad, this is a novel about finding love in the most unexpected places. Freaking cute. Love that for me. And that is all 42 books that I have read and books that I have not read that I'm really excited to read from 2023 releases. And there are so many more that I haven't even shared on this list, so make sure you guys are looking for diverse reads along with looking for all the popular books that people talk about on Book Talk and BookTube and Bookstagram, because those are all great too, but I think it's super important to also like look at different stories that you might not normally read. Like for me, I don't know if I've ever read like a story about someone from Trinidad, so I want to like read When the Vibe is Right, because I feel like it's gonna give me such a different view of the world and culture and life and love, and I feel like it all brings us all together, because when we see that we really aren't so different, like we're all going through the same things, we're all struggling with like all the same stuff and crushes and love and work and dreams and things, I think it makes us just more empathetic to people around us. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Bye guys.